Hi, everybody. You're tuned in to Where Waters Meet, a podcast featuring discussions on fly fishing, art, all things outdoors with a conservation focus. Hey, guys, it's Alex and Johnny.
Oh, hey, man.
Hey. And we're here with Where Waters Meet podcast gear reviews, and we are reviewing what is probably a hot topic item. It seems like it is every year or whenever they come out with a new one, but
Yep.
Johnny is going to run away with this one.
So this is a little more specific than the general. This is the new Helios, but this is one of the specialty sizes. This is an 8-weight, 8'5", and this is a specific rod that I use for a specific purpose. I use it when I'm floating in Alaska, and I like the fact that it's a little bit shorter, and it's still an 8-weight. I got this to replace. So I was fishing out of the raft with a mangrove, and it was too light, too flexy. Didn't have enough backbone. Couldn't cut through the wind. Then my other option I had a Hardy Wraith. Had plenty of backbone. Had no soul whatsoever.
Yeah,
it was a broomstick.
those are like opposite ends of the spectrum. Rods.
It certainly was. And this rod, it fell. I'm not going to say it fell in the middle because it gravitates on the stiffness of the Hardy, but it has some of the soul and some of the feel that I really liked in the mangrove. So this isn't a broomstick that you get no feedback from. But what's great about this rod is it picks up off the water so quick, and you just flip it out there. It's great for short, medium, and long range casts, even though it's a shorter rod.
Does the shorter length come in both flex profiles?
No. I believe it's only in the D.
It's only in the D.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I'm sorry, this is a D.
Yeah.
The D's
Which for, and maybe explain for people who don't know how Orvis goes about it.
D is like distance and F is finesse. I'd say the F, if you're a typical dry fly guy, you'd want to go with the F. If you're more streamer oriented, longer casts, I'd say go with the D.
And Orvis is a little bit unique in how they do that, because within their Helios line, you can get like a 9'5" weight, F or D. So they have different flex profiles within the same line of rod, which is different than other rod companies. And so like John was saying, this is a specialty rod, which is made more for distance, and it only comes in the D.
Yep. And they also made these shorter rods specifically for picking up line quickly and shooting quickly. It's specifically made for, I want to say it's made for floating, to be honest with you. So it's made for covering distance and making a lot of casts over like a 5-mile stretch.
Yeah.
It loads quick. You don't even really need you don't need a false cast really.
Right.
This. It's a pick up and shoot type of rod.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of little details on this that I like. I really like the full Wells grip on this. Some of the full Wells grips, they're kind of shallow here. If you put your thumb on that, you go deep into that. So you can really generate some power with that thumb. I don't know if like something you want to check out, but you haven't got to use this rod.
I have not used this rod. No.
It's everything on it is, high-end components. You get the ceramic guides and the regular snake guides up here, but aluminum up-locking seat. There's O-rings in these things, so once you lock it down, they don't tend to back off. Some of these rods now are coming with a specific line or something to lock your reel seat in. Like you have a reference point. This has the serial number put there, so you can use that as a reference.
That's great.
Which is nice. Orvis has gotten rid of their fly hook keep. I think a lot of rod manufacturers are doing that now. It's just one added component.
Are they leaving a notch in the
No, that's one thing I like about TFO. I don't know if TFO does it on all their rods, but
they're doing away with it too.
So that's one thing I really liked about the old mangrove, that it had a little slot there. Right?
Yeah,
It was just a little.
That's what they did. Yeah, when they went away with the hook keeps, they were putting the slots there, and now they aren't doing that. I like the hook keep and I like the slot, but I mean, it's just one other thing to break. Yeah. I understand why they're doing.
I don't miss it.
Yeah,
I don't miss it. I do like it on the TFO because I kind of liked how it was hidden away.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I've got a rod that was built on a TFO blank that the builder put a hook keeper in the blank. And I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Yeah. It's just a normal thing, but I for some reason I hate it, and I actually took it and I bent it right over so I don't use it. But
everybody's moved away from them.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
They've all moved away from them. No. But I did like the hole in the. I think that was a nice touch being in the seat. But now, I mean, there's so many different ways you go around the reel and back up, or I even just hook up to my eyelid a lot of times, and it's not really that big.
Yeah, and that's and all the like you said on past reviews, a lot of the reel manufacturers now are rounding off.
Yeah,
there's no hard corners on the
so you don't get a kink.
Exactly, so you can wrap your line around.
Yeah. And I think the shorter rods like this make sense, and I do think it is more of like a boat rod, because the way that you got to think about it is, it's like, a 9-foot rod works great for certain applications, for most applications. And the thing of it is, though, is you might very well be wading, in knee deep to waist deep water. So you're down in the water, and having that extra length is nice. But from a boat, you're so high. I mean, you don't need to have that extra length. And what I'll say is, when you start casting big flies, like if you cast big flies long distances on a 10-foot rod, it's very tiring on your grip. Yeah. And I think having a little bit of a shorter rod that's designed for it, it's easier on your grip, easier on your arm throughout the day, and you just don't need the length to lift those flies up, because you're, depending on if you're in a saltwater skiff or a raft or a drift boat, you're going to at least be standing at water level.
Yep.
In some instances, you're actually quite a bit above water level. So. Yep.
And I really wasn't a huge Orvis guy. I didn't fish them a lot. Our friend, your brother-in-law and my friend, Chris, he was like a diehard Orvis fan. And I just never fished him that much.
We teased him more than anything.
And I think so right around COVID or something, Orvis eventually opened up their rod shop back to tours, because their rod shop offers tours to the public. And my wife suggested, it was during the winter, she suggested that we just go down for a day trip, just for something to do. And I'm like, oh, sure. So we went down and we toured the factory, the facility where these are made, and I was just really impressed. I'm like, it's a made in New England product. They make everything there, guys. I mean, the reels, all the aluminum stuff that's made up in New Hampshire. I forget the town in New Hampshire, but they roll the blanks down in Vermont. They paint them down in Vermont. These are handed assembled in Vermont and made by regular old New England guys and gals in the shop. And the shop's not big. They're not employing 1 million people.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like you could learn everybody's name that builds this rod, which is impressive to me. But with that craftsmanship and stuff, quality, it comes at a price tag. And this is not a cheap rod. This particular model is actually more expensive than the regular Helios. I think you get into the 8'5" weights, just the little weirder models. I think they jack up. This is like $1,200.
Yeah.
Where I think the other ones, like if you're looking at like a 5 or 6 weight, I want to say it's right around 1,000 even.
Yeah.
But that said, I mean, I generally want to support a New England company. And if I lived someplace else, I'd probably check out a different manufacturer that was local.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been super impressed with the rod.
I think they're doing a good job over there. And I think that, Orvis has been a very smart company in keeping their outlook in the right direction and what
Yeah.
they're doing. And they do try to make American made products as much as they can. I mean, there's obviously challenges. There's products that they make that they're able to hit certain price points for people, and there's just no way to make that product here.
Yeah. So they make this. They make the Recon. I think, don't quote me, I think they make all their fiberglass rods in Vermont, and all the bamboo rods are done in Vermont, and all the repairs are done in Vermont.
And then their higher end reels are U.S. made still.
Yeah, those are made in New Hampshire.
Yep. But
and their nippers and stuff are made in New Hampshire.
I think it's a great rod. I haven't cast it yet, but I've cast other Helios, and I think that they're doing a good thing having their different flex profiles for different people, but still maintaining a fast action rod. And, I think that they stand by their products, which is good. And I was the same as you. I wasn't necessarily a big Orvis fan, but I see how Orvis takes care of those that are in the fly fishing industry and guides, and they really take care of the people that are out there leading the cutting edge of what's going on, and their R&D department's pretty good too. And so I think it's a great rod.
Another place that I would like to try out, if I was doing like some sort of tropic thing where I'm hitting mangroves by foot, I think this would be a great rod for that.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure in like I don't like the shorter rod for like, say, a surf rod or something like that. Also probably, well, I'm trying to think, if I was doing like small thing in Alaska where I could get into some really big fish on smaller creeks, I might try this, like salmon. It's basically my salmon rod out in Alaska.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't use this in the surf myself personally. No. I even fish 10-foot rods in the surf, even though it's more tiring on me, just because I sometimes if there's big rollers and I'm out on the beach, for striper fishing here in Maine, I like having a little bit of a longer rod to be up there. But
yeah, and I'm not a super technical guy when it comes to all this jargon and stuff. It's actually, I weighed this against another 8-weight, and it's slightly heavier than another 8-weight that I have. But like, people start talking about swing weights and stuff like that. It's weird. I will buy into the swing weight a little bit on this one, because I don't know if it's just the height or whatever. It just seems like it balances a little bit better, and I can throw it for a long time. But
well, that's a big thing too, because it's like, all of the Helios models tend to have a thicker butt section. So it's like, weight is one thing. Like, you can weigh the weight of this total rod, and maybe it weighs more, but where's that weight distributed? You know what I mean? That's the thing, is it's like
that butt section is where the main bulk of the weight is.
And that's where you want it to be. Weight, yeah, we could talk about that at another time, but weight is so deceiving, whether you're talking about reels or rods or what have you. It all comes down to balance.
So like in the beginning when I said this, also, like I kind of wanted it to fall in between my Wraith and my mangrove. It did that superbly. And it also excelled in places where I wasn't necessarily thinking I was lacking. But then I did find out I was lacking up close with the Wraith. Like, it sucked. Like a 20-foot cast with a Wraith. I was horrible. This I can, like, it's a great range of distance that I can present accurately.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. So you don't feel like you're losing any close range with it necessarily?
No. I felt I gained it over the Wraith. The mangrove, I always excelled pretty good with close casts with the mangrove, and I thought this was right there with that.
Yeah.
While getting the benefit of being able to punch through wind.
There you go. You can justify spending the money on it because it's 2 rods in one.
There you go. It actually did replace 2 rods.
Yeah. So that's what you guys tell your wife tonight. when you drop one of these in the cart and you say, "Geez, honey, would you like?" Would you like a back rub? And I'm going to talk to you about fly rods.
That's actually how I wound up with this rod, is because my wife broke my mangrove.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she broke it in Alaska, and she felt so excuse me. She felt so terrible. I didn't tell her that I could just buy a section for X amount of dollars, and I got a very expensive rod. Thanks, honey.
Thanks, Ange.
But there you go. I really enjoy this rod. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up, and maybe Alex will get some time on it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say too much about how I feel like it casts, but just as far as the company and hearing about you and knowing about this line of rods, and I've cast other Helios, I mean, I just don't think you could probably go wrong with it. And I think John did a good job of explaining your application specific, and that it's not necessarily that you pick up for everything that you'd want to use an 8-weight for, but the application, it's pretty great.
Like I said, I've got 5 8-weights, and they all do different things.
Yeah.
And I fished this. I fished this with like a weight forward, like a bank shop or outbound short type line.
Quick pickup, shoot
Exactly.
style line.
Yeah.
All right. The Orvis Helios D 8-foot. And in the 8-weight, 8 foot, 8'5". 8'5". All right.
And I'm actually thinking about getting the 8.5 7-weight.
That would be great from the boat too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys.
All right. Thank you.
See ya.